Warm greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans, and thanks for joining me. Monday, January 13th, 2020. Bringing you back-to-back videos on this wonderful morning here in the High 10. I want to bring you some information pertaining to Mr. Harvey Weinstein, and it reads as follows. If you need verification for the story, please log on to Reuters.com. Jury selection in Harvey Weinstein's rape trial enters second week. Jury selection in the high-profile rape trial of Harvey Weinstein is expected to enter its second week Monday as the judge and lawyers in the case choose a panel of 12 impartial New Yorkers to decide the former movie producer's fate. Weinstein, 67, has pleaded not guilty to charges of assaulting two women and faces life in prison if convicted on the most serious charge, predatory sexual assault. His trial began January 6 and could last up to 2 months. Weinstein, once one of Hollywood's most powerful producers, made his mark with critically acclaimed films such as The English Patient and Shakespeare in Love. Since 2017, more than 80 women, including many famous actresses, have accused him of sexual misconduct dating back decades. Weinstein has denied the allegations, saying any sexual encounters he had were consensual. The allegations helped fuel the Me Too movement, in which women have gone public with misconduct allegations against powerful men in business and politics. Jury selection in Weinstein's case is in its first phase, with potential jurors being pre-screened for possible bias. A more intensive phase is expected to begin Thursday, in which lawyers will ask more detailed questions about jurors' backgrounds. Out of 360 potential jurors summoned last week, 106 passed pre-screening, with many excused after saying they could not be impartial. Others were let go for health reasons or because serving in the trial would be a hardship. Friday's jury selection proceedings were punctuated by a protest with about 100 women carrying pots and pans dancing across the street from the courthouse. That's trying to envision that. The rapist is you. Patriarchy is our judge, the women chanted, first in English and then in Spanish. The chants were heard in the 15th floor courtroom, prompting Weinstein's lawyers to ask that all potential jurors present be dismissed. Justice James Burke denied the request, noting that he expected the protest would not be the last. Burke last week refused to take himself off the case, asked Weinstein's defense team accused him of bias. On January 6, as the New York trial began, Los Angeles District Attorney Jackie Lacey announced new sexual assault charges against Weinstein. And that is my update on this said story. As you see, it's in the second week of trying to get a jury panel together, and this is another hot mess. What is, once again, a sad, ridiculous, trifling story of a very famous, prominent male producer in the industry, movie industry, who went for years, making obscene, overt passes at women. Some said something, some didn't, some rebuffed, some may have not, because we don't know the whole entire tally of women he has approached. But it has been said by many famous actresses that he did come on to them, make passes at them, try to solicit them for sex. So he was a busy bee, just like someone else has been a busy bee, okay? And this is what's so sad about this type of situation, is that many people in Hollywood, New York, knew of his behavior, knew of his demeanor, and yet he still rose to the top in his profession, and no one said anything. Whispers, yes, there were, because there are always whispers. But someone calling his bluff may have helped bring this big cat down. And I think it's just preposterous that it goes on this long. These people sit in high positions and they wield their, masculinity, to defeat women. And it's sad. It is so sad. And it's sad that these women are out here trying to get a job. They're trying to get in the industry, such as myself, wanting to be in the industry. And you, as a woman, should not have to succumb to overt advances, turning sexual favors to get a part in a movie, a play, commercial. It is ridiculous. And some women go along with it. That is their choice. But it's still wrong. Because my thing is, you really have no guarantee that you will get the part. Is it going to be in writing? You understand what I'm saying? And how would that be in writing? Yeah, you sleep with me and I'll give you this part in this movie. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And this go on also in the modeling world and other professions, workplaces as well. And people knew this man was like this. Obviously, it was a joke. It seems to be from the commentary I've heard in the past year or two about this man. People talk and laughed about it. They knew he was this way. And you would have to be grateful, basically, not to, as a woman, to cross his paths and have to go talk to him for a part in a movie. Because he obviously had an MO of, meet me at my hotel. Then meeting in the hotel leads to, can you come up to my room? You know, come on with all that. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. But people like this, men like this, will continue to grow into their professions, workplace, exacting this type of behavior until someone calls their bluff and let the man know, you're not going to keep doing this and you're not going to get away with this type of behavior. And what I thought was so disgusting is when I saw a picture of his wife, and I thought, oh my gosh, look at this beautiful woman. And she's here with this sap of flesh that doesn't have anything better to do than solicit women for sex, use his power and his prestige and his position to manipulate women into having sex so they can get a role in a movie. And here he is lying beside a beautiful woman every night. I mean, a beautiful woman. And can you imagine how disturbed she had to be, how disgusted she had to be to see and hear that this man that she's been, she's married to was out here sleeping with anything, trying to get into bed with any woman, not to minimize the women, but just to say he didn't care. He did not care. And once again, right now, denying all allegations, because that's what they do. They never own their part. And as I said in the video I uploaded earlier, one cannot change if he or she does not own that they have a problem. And he's facing time in prison as well. So maybe that's what he needs as well, is some time to sit in there and get his thinking cap on. And what I find baffling, once again, hobbling into court on a walker. I saw that picture last week, and I just laughed because I said, isn't it amazing that when they're out and about, sitting on swole, living good, eating steaks and shrimp and caviar and all those wonderful delicacies and drinking fine wine, they're walking and hopping and skipping so well. But soon as it's time to go to court, we on walkers, wheelchairs, push carts, need help getting in the door. But before the charges, and before the arrests, and before the indictments, you were walking around just fine. Skipping, matter of factly. Content with how you were living and doing the deviances behind closed doors and laughing at people thinking you would never get caught, you would never be arrested for the crimes that you've committed against the women. But now look at you. Frail, lost a lot of weight, and going to court on a walker. Just priceless. I'll give you an update pertaining to this Mr. Harvey. I'm sure there'll be a lot of interesting things unfolding as well in this said trial. I'm sure all kinds of people are going to come out and have something to say. It's sad and it's pathetic. And what's even more sad and baffling, besides the years of him getting away with this, besides the people who upheld him, besides the people who rode the ride and gained financially by being on their team and aiding and abetting, you still have people who will support him and call the women liars. And they're just doing it for clout and attention, book deals, this and that. I guess it must be nice to sit in a position where, one, you have never been abused physically or mentally or raped by a man. And some of you women will ride the ride and aid him too. And that's even more appalling to me, but to each its own. But I think we live in a world where a person has to actually put the shoe on to have empathy. And that lets me know that you really don't have a soul yourself, because you shouldn't have to put on somebody else's shoes to recognize pain and misdeeds and injustice. I thank you for joining me on this wonderful, wonderful morning. And beautiful it is in the high 10. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Like and share, and I will be back with another update. Bye-bye.